Okay, we're live. Hey, everybody. If you're watching this live, welcome. If you're watching it later, also welcome. This is going to be our special year-end episode of Bitcoin and the Arts, number 12, because I did it monthly, which we'll get into that later, but I think that's going to change a little bit next year, and we'll talk a little bit about why when we do get into that. But yeah, we thought it'd be cool to do something a little special for the last one of this year. So Dustin from BTC Art Gallery is joining me again. You can say hi.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, and we're just gonna go in. It's not super planned out. We'll just see what happens, I guess. Yeah. So first, I think I want to hit Yujo music. So I don't remember what episode it was, but earlier in this year I talked about Imogen Heap and how she was working on some music and blockchain kind of stuff. And lo and behold, this website ujomusic.com popped up. Their tag on the first page of their website is rebuilding the music industry on the blockchain. And they have a prototype using Imogen Heap's song. You can go to ujomusic.com and click on the prototype. Let's see, I guess I could share screen for this just to show what's going on here. Yeah. Here we go. All right, so this is the page for the prototype, and it's got this song here. You can play it. I don't know if you could hear that, but it just played for me. You've got these links here and a download link here, and let's see what happens. You hit this. You can't really see it too well. I don't know. I guess just a little bug with the website, but the names of the people who played in the brass ensemble come up down here.
Are you recording from my point of view or your point of view?
It should have both.
Because I don't see your record in your sharing window. Oh wait, now I do. Okay, maybe I do. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So.
Sorry, folks. It's live. I'm confused.
Yeah. This happens with live things, but yeah. It looks like there's a little bit of stuff that might need to be tweaked.
What do you think of websites like this layout? Do you find this layout useful?
Huh. Yeah. I don't know.
I thought about doing something like this with the art gallery. I played with some themes, and I found it so difficult.
Yeah.
I think the difficulty took away from the experience, and I wonder. This is a lot of stuff going on, and her face is right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think for something like this, it seems like it kind of works. But I definitely, if all websites were like this, it may not be very helpful.
I'm sorry. I'm still just processing these thoughts from when I listened to your podcast about all this.
Yeah.
And can I say something critical here?
Oh yeah.
The whole project that I've noticed. Is she using Bitcoin?
I am not really sure about that, to be honest. I think I might have talked a little bit about how I wasn't really sure about that at the time.
Yeah, no, I wondered if there was just any sort of clarity on that, because when I looked up later on, and I was wondering the same thing, and I was like, is she using Bitcoin? Is she using some of her own? Is she doing her own altcoin, so to speak, with just a private ledger?
Well, I definitely this Yujo music thing, I don't think is actually what she was trying to do. I think this is somebody else. They kind of had a project and asked her to help out or be a part of it or to use her song as the prototype. I know whatever she was doing, it was called Mycelium. I know that she, I guess, has been hanging out with the guys from Ethereum. So I think it's most
right.
Yeah,
just hang out with the guys from Ethereum on our off time, you know.
Yeah, but no, I think it is mostly Bitcoin. I think most of these kind of apps tend to run on the Bitcoin blockchain just because it's the biggest and generally the the most robust for doing something like this. So I'd assume that it is running on Bitcoin. As far as I don't know if she's like a user.
So that stuff has been obfuscated.
Yeah. I don't know as much if it's like purposefully hidden or just that it hasn't really come up. Her fan base isn't probably super into it. I don't know. And I don't know that she's that popular within the Bitcoin community. I'm not really sure.
Okay. Sorry. I'm since I started running this gallery, I'm now like super critical of the things I see, because since I see oh my God. So some of the things I've seen, which are just like obviously shameless altcoin promotional stuff, which is fine because there's a shameless Bitcoin promotional-ism too.
Yeah.
But the altcoins, they don't understand that they have to explain themselves. In the same sense that Bitcoin explained themselves. And so I don't know how I feel about including altcoin material when it's, you know, just shameless promotional material rather than, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get that. The way we've generally approached altcoin stuff on our show is that we see it as kind of just like free market competition with Bitcoin, and that's generally how we approach it. So,
but not all of it is. Some of it's obviously just copycatism.
Yeah, and we actually haven't talked a lot about altcoins in a really long time. When we first started, it came up a lot more often, but I think now it's like way harder. I mean, like it's kind of like you go to some meet and greet thing with like tech people, and it's like everybody there has a startup. When we went to that conference, it was like every single person there had their own altcoin, and they were handing out business cards and stuff. But I think
I suggested the World Crypto Network create their own altcoin back in the day, simply to separate themselves from the altcoins.
Yeah.
And you know, my reasoning, I think, was unsound at the time. Now looking back on it, I think a lot of people had that same reasoning, but they went through with it with a lot more money.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of like the whole like .com bubble thing. It's like everybody's like, oh, we can do this now. We might as well do it because we can. And I think to some extent it's died down a little bit with the altcoin craze. At least as far as I know, I haven't kept up on altcoin stuff very much.
But now there's the Fed coin thing. So when Fed coin art starts appearing, I guess I'm obligated to show it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's your gallery, so you can obviously veto whatever. If it's not, you could make it strictly Bitcoin.
That's the name of it, right?
Yeah. You have precedence to do that.
But I mean, I would be doing a disservice to my viewers if there was like some sweet painting someone made. And they're like, Fed coin. Oh, thank us all for Fed coin.
Yeah.
I will include it. I've decided that would be lovely. So yeah, the Imogen Heap thing just concerns me, that we don't know whether she's using Bitcoin or not. That it wasn't clear. She wasn't clear. It's not clear. And that troubles me, I guess. I just want to say that, because if you are using Bitcoin, like if you're making like a sweet project and you just aren't sure how to label it, and you're going to label it like something like blockchain.
Yeah.
Right? Because you might be using your own system and it's not really Bitcoin, but you want all the hype train. That feels dishonest to me. I don't know. What about you? Like when I'm trying to include stuff, I will tell you right now, I don't like including that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's obviously mainly a musician, and I think the reason she got into this is because she sees the value of it. And as far as the marketing of it, I would imagine that like she doesn't concern herself as much with that. I'm sure there are other people who are like, let's compare
this to Tatiana and Tatiana coin.
Yeah.
right? That's a great other example. I have Tatiana in my gallery because of her songs
Yeah,
about Bitcoin, and they're some of my favorite. And she came out with her own artist coin that she sells her album for, right?
yeah,
And does other things for it. And I don't know how successful she's been, but I think that she's earned. See, here's Imogen Heap,
yeah,
in my gallery here. But I like to point out that Tatiana's done like a bunch of songs about Bitcoin,
yeah,
gone to a ton of events and talked to people, and now does a podcast
yeah, yeah,
for it. And Imogen Heap had an album about her baby.
yeah, yeah. So like she's been around for a long time, and I think her getting involved with this is just that she sees the utility in using blockchain stuff to keep track of music more than she's getting into currency or she has like that much interest in it.
Okay, well, there's a big difference between seeing the utility of how blockchain technology could be useful and seeing the point of Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's totally true. So I wouldn't call her a Bitcoin artist, even if she is using Bitcoin. I don't think that's part. I think she's like an artist who is trying to do something useful with blockchain, maybe Bitcoin blockchain, but we're not totally sure about that. But I don't think she's actually been like, from what I've seen, I don't think she's been trying to use like Bitcoin to get some kind of hype from it.
Wait, now this is a good example. How does that make you feel? Because what we're seeing here is just an example of what we will see more of in the future.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I think Imogen Heap already had enough popularity where, like, if anything, she's probably going to turn more people onto Bitcoin than people who are in Bitcoin are going to get turned onto her from this. So I don't really see it as
But how would they know that if it's not clear that we don't know that, and we're experts in recognizing Bitcoin advertisements?
No, I don't know that that's going to happen. I just am saying, I guess, that I don't
You're
think
saying
she's
that on principle. You're saying that on principle. While I'm saying that if that principle doesn't work, then I'm saying she might be jumping on a hype train and trying to do her own thing without fully understanding it, or trying to actually give us anything.
Yeah.
In the community.
Yeah, I don't.
What do you think of takers versus givers?
Takers. Yeah.
Let me compare against Tatiana again. Tatiana gave us a lot of stuff for free, and Imogen Heap just wants to sell us some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think you kind of have to expect that. I mean, like, what do you think of Dell accepting Bitcoin, or like Microsoft, Xbox Live accepting?
But they're not a musician. They're not an
artist. Yeah, but I mean, that's clearly for them. It's not that they're interested in the community. It's just that they're like, oh, this is another avenue that people might want to buy stuff, so we should offer it.
Okay, but I want to point out that the community here, the community, so that's once again the taker versus the giver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what concerns me here, because we've had other people jump on, like, let's say Mike Tyson.
Yeah, that's a great example.
I liked the way Mike Tyson did it, and that was it. He's a retired celebrity, and he does the retired celebrity thing, and he did the promo thing and said some good stuff, and that's how he wanted to be related into Bitcoin, and that was perfectly understandable. He was perfectly clear the entire time what his relationship was with us, right?
Yeah.
How are we supposed to feel about these people who do the opposite?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like I was saying earlier, as far as it being called like blockchain instead of Bitcoin, I'd imagine that's probably more her publicist people than her.
But that's the point.
Yeah, it is. I don't know if to be honest, I don't like follow her that much, and I don't know that much about her as a person. So it's hard to make a judgment. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a valid concern.
Like, look, here I have the cracked Bitcoin wrap in my gallery, and these people did some research when they made their parody of Bitcoin, right? They did a really good job. It's an entertaining wrap. They did their best,
Yeah.
right? And even though they were mostly insulting us, and they did it. Yeah, I still find it entertaining. Everyone should
Yeah.
watch it. This is now, they're not even trying to sell me anything here. Okay, this
Yeah.
is just, they make videos on the internet and they hope you like them. Okay, this is a relationship. I understand. I understand, and they didn't even ask for any Bitcoin tips here,
Yeah.
right? No Bitcoin tips. They just gave that to us, right? This is our relationship with this artist, okay? And there is a wildly different relationship with some of these other people, Imogen Heap, for example. It's startling, you know. It feels like that to me, because some parts of our community just like suck it up and spit it back out like CoinDesk, and they make it all equal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not equal to me.
I think I would say that I don't think she really has the power to hurt the Bitcoin community by what she's doing, but it's also not like super helpful either. I think it's like the net outcome is probably neutral.
Neutral?
Yeah.
I think it's a precedent that we're going to see a lot of.
Yeah.
Of the price is going to do something wacky at some point. A bunch of celebrities are going to jump on board. This will be their relationship to Bitcoin, and that will be the end of it. And a lot of it will be them trying to come up with their own self-serving blockchain. And I have so many concerns about that as a long-term trend with celebrities.
Yeah, that's definitely a concern, a valid concern.
You're the only other person I knew who I could address that to and would really understand what I'm talking about, because you've seen it. Because half of it you reported on, and that's how I found out about it.
Yeah, I guess I just expect that. I mean, we talk about so many stories on the regular You Me and BTC podcast of just like banks messing around with blockchain and like businesses messing around with it, but not really getting into Bitcoin. We just talk about that so often at this point. I don't like.
You're jaded.
I've just gotten numb to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I expect that's what people to do. I expect people to.
Yeah. See, I run the art gallery. So each one of these is like a stab in my heart. because you know who did it right?
Yeah.
Guess who did it right? 50 Cent. That's what my vote was gonna be. 50 Cent. He said all money is money.
Yeah.
Right, and that was like bingo. That's all you had to do.
Yeah.
Was be like, all money is money. If you like 50 Cent, then you go, oh, okay, I heard that. It's a good saying.
Yeah, I guess the way that like I said, we talk about stuff like this all the time on the regular show, and I think like what we usually end up.
Oh, I know, and I know, and I'm just taking up everyone's time by furiously asking about this. Because I just like want to. I make up these comments when I listen to your guys' show in my head, and I'm just like, that's not how it is. It's like this.
Yeah, I think the conclusion that we usually come to is that if Bitcoin is as revolutionary as we think it is, that it will at some point become self-evident, and like people won't be able to continue having that relationship with it, where they're like trying to take some good things from it without actually getting involved. I don't know. It's impossible to predict, but yeah, I think there is a lot of danger, like you're saying, in setting a precedent that people can kind of just come in and like piggyback on it without actually having a stake in it.
Here, can I jump us to the gallery and show you a great example?
Yeah, that's a good transition. Actually, we should start talking about stuff in here.
This is Supergirl. it appears in Supergirl. Have you seen Supergirl?
No, I haven't, but I did see this this image capture here.
And you call
Yeah.
yourself a nerd.
I haven't watched American TV in a long time.
Okay, well, superheroes are big.
Yeah.
The CW had a lot of success with Archer, so they spun off the Flash, and the Flash had some legit CGI in it, so it got the fans in it because it had enough retro, old school Flash references.
Mm-hmm.
And then now they're making Supergirl, and they made Supergirl, and in the middle of episode something, I guess I didn't write down what episode it was. On the back of the screen here in the protagonist boss office, she has on the back screen blockchain tech reminiscent of early internet. And this is blockchain. They said blockchain, not Bitcoin. So if we rewound the clock a year ago, this would have said Bitcoin. But now it says blockchain.
Yeah.
Right. And this is that adaption of taking and being like, we see here the buzzwords have changed. We will change the buzzwords so they match the controlled message. Yeah. And so I don't know if you can see it clearly on this on the YouTube or whatever, but this is like Imogen Heap. But you know what? I'll give them a pass because Marvel did such a bad job when they did it that this is genius compared to the way Marvel handled it. So I will give them a pass.
Yeah, that actually reminds me. Somebody sent me a message like last month. Have you heard of a show called iZombie?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he said that he knew I was into Bitcoin. It's a guy I knew from back in high school, and he's like,
did they have it in it?
He said,
give me a screen capture with the subtitles.
I don't know if they actually said or they showed anything about it. I think they were talking about it. He said they referenced it as an untraceable form of currency, and he said Bitcoin.
Okay.
But he just told me this in writing. He didn't actually send me any clips or anything like that.
Well, I'll look for it. It's definitely appeared in a number of TV shows now in strange ways that make no sense. and sometimes they get it right, sometimes they get it wrong. But it's strange days among us. We have halving art. The first halving art appeared.
Oh, yeah, nice. That's I saw that, but I didn't look at it closely. I just, as I was skimming over the site, I noticed that one.
It begins the great new change. It's coming.
Yeah.
And guess what? Look, they said 12. They made a mistake. 12.5 bits. They said bits.
Yeah.
The block reward does not go to 12.5 bits. It goes to 12.5 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Bits are a fraction of Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
So this great, huge painting that was a lot of work is wrong.
Yeah. Do you know who did it? Is it anyone who's done stuff before? Or is it an outside?
Yeah. No, it's from some artist who worked with the person who is like crypto art, the people who make the Bitcoin wallets that are also paintings.
Yeah, that looks like a similar style.
Here's a time lapse of her painting it. And someone should have caught that in post and explained the difference between bits and Bitcoin and the 10-minute thing. Because it feels to me like this is one of those second, third time I've not really been paying attention that closely.
Yeah.
Like just a mistranslation, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing it's probably just nobody thought anybody would notice, or I guess in a painting it's not that important as it's like a small little thing. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm surprised that like nobody caught that if it was the crypto art people.
Let's compare that with the expertise of this. So you said you didn't hear about this. the $100 million kitty cat picture?
Did Antonopoulos like tweet something about this?
Yes, yes.
I did see
Yeah.
his post about it.
So it was in reference to banning Bitcoin,
Yeah.
and the picture below contains a signed Bitcoin transaction worth more than 100 million USD. No joke. And
Yeah.
the picture is these adorable little kitty cats.
Yeah.
And that was a Bitcoin transaction. We can check the transaction right here. And so it is a transaction actually to a wallet of 550,000 Bitcoin.
Wow.
I want you to see this. It's big number.
Yeah.
That number, and it's a kitty cat picture. So you want to explain this one to me? I've been dying to ask someone in the Bitcoin world to explain to me how editing a picture of some kitty cats and then you would use that for a transaction.
Yeah, I can't explain that. I don't know exactly how it works. I mean, obviously there's for a digital image, it's going to have some signature.
It says 500 bytes of transaction data encoded in minute variations of colors and pixels.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, obviously that image can be represented as numbers and bits and everything.
Right, but like if you're talking about like minute changes, aren't you worried? Like I've lost quality on files and stuff. If the slightest change in the picture changed your address number, well, you'd have to have a perfect copy every time.
Yeah.
And there's no way to ever guarantee. Like, would you, because it's just such a huge wallet, man. 550,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So how much is that worth?
Oh, by today's?
Yeah, you have the fancy calculator.
Yeah, let's go use the Umean BTC calculator.
Yeah, put that stuff.
Already, it's where most of our site's traffic comes from. Let's see.
So this transaction was to move 50,000 out of a wallet of 500,000. So I think it split it out of a wallet.
Okay, in USD, that is, let's see, let me get this number right because there's no commas in it. It's 239,772,500 USD.
200 and what million?
39. Let's see. Yeah, I mean that's 550,000 convert. Yeah, that's what the converter is giving me. I mean, I guess what was the price whenever he posted that originally? Because I mean, it's
I don't know. It was just like 19th of November, but that could have been from any time. Oh, the transaction. Wait, the transaction occurred on the received time. Wow, this occurred in 2011.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense then. Yeah.
2011. So how much is that? How much was that at the high?
2011?
No, yeah, what was that?
Let's see. Well, it had to have been pretty low because I don't think I actually bought in until 2012. And when I bought in, it was pretty low.
Good for you.
Okay, that's it. Peak price in June of 2011, it was $32. January of 2012, the peak price was $7. Peak price in August of 2012 was 15, 49 in March of 2013.
So that was in December.
December of 2011.
Right, November. Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm guessing it was somewhere between like $7 and $30.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you take off a couple zeros.
That doesn't actually help my frame of reference, I guess. I thought it would, but it doesn't.
Yeah,
I should ask. I've been meaning to. I wanted to get your first impressions of the stuff in here, and I'm just gonna brew on those numbers now. So, why don't you take a look through the thing and tell me what you think?
All right, sure. Yeah, I'll
think about that stuff you just told me for a little while.
I'll screen share this, I guess.
Yeah, go from your screen.
All right, I was on the having picture. All right, so okay, so here's Satoshi's PGP. Not a whole lot to say about this, I guess. It's kind of just
in context, though, with what's going on right now.
Yeah,
I couldn't think of anything more important.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about that. The new Satoshi.
everyone who's listening to us probably has already read everything we've read and probably understands it to a better degree than we do.
Yeah.
We could summarize it for the people who don't keep up with things, but you'd probably be better at that.
Yeah,
you do the regular show.
Yeah. All as far as I know, I had a pretty crazy week, so I didn't get to keep up on all this stuff. But it's already it was all on the front page of our Bitcoin, and it's kind of not there anymore. You have to go down a little bit to find it. But then there's a new guy that that people think might be Satoshi or might have been Satoshi, and I don't know. There was a lot of evidence, but none of it was stuff that couldn't be forged. So, has anyone conclusively?
But you would have had to forge it. You would have had to forge it, like almost right. You would have to forge it like months after Satoshi actually did it.
Oh no! I mean, I think they could forge the time too.
Yeah, but some of those timestamps are pretty old.
Yeah, I think the earliest ones were from like 2011 though. I don't think he actually had any like pre.
I know, but that's what I mean. You'd have to start forging around like 2011, and I'm like, that's pretty early. I guess there will be forgers there that early, but he does he has 1 million coins.
Yeah, well, he's also the owner of the world's most powerful privately owned supercomputer. I think
that was disproven.
Is it?
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. They contacted the company. And it was disproven because the company said we've never had any dealings with that business. We saw that so they came out and said that was not true.
Okay.
And the videos have since been taken down. His Twitter, he took his Twitter down, his blog, he took everything down, and his house was raided.
Yeah, I knew about the raid.
Right.
Yeah, I can't say that I've kept up on it enough to say anything definitive, but I mean I don't think there's been conclusive proof yet.
Okay, well, you just jumped over like everything. I guess we should go scrolling back. I want to know what you thought.
Yeah, I was just looking through. So let's see. We'll start.
Yeah, you gotta look it up. It's the craziest story. Ars Technica has some pretty good reviews of what other people have been writing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to. I'm sure we'll probably talk about it a little bit on the podcast this week. And
that piece above it is for him.
Yeah,
the new Satoshi. Wait, not that one. I guess the one below it. Sorry, my bad. I forget how my slideshow works. Yeah, one more down.
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah.
So he says that in a video at his speech when they ask him what his involvement is with Bitcoin. And where he got started with Bitcoin, and for him to clarify that. And this is his answer to the mining question.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of from all the stuff that I heard about him, I kind of just figured he was probably one of the really early miners. Because
Who
that
what
would,
now wants to fake that he was Satoshi?
yeah, or the other thing that I told you before we started recording is that like a lot of people have thought from the beginning that Satoshi may have been a group of people, not just one person. He could have been maybe part of a group of people that were that. I have doubts that it was him by himself.
Right, but his
Yeah.
friend is dead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I've heard some conspiracies about that, or I saw that
I
on
saw
Reddit.
some conspiracies about that too.
Yeah, that people think he killed him so that he could take credit for it, and yeah, I don't know. I mean,
If you were in a group, that would be a mad cabal.
yeah,
Think about it. You've got, if they had a multi-sig wallet or something,
yeah,
but multi-sig wasn't working at the time.
yeah. I was gonna say that
Coins
it's
haven't moved.
yeah. I mean, and that's the thing that people have said. If he really wants to prove that he was Satoshi, because he's been trying to get people to believe him. It's not like people have said it's him, and he's like, no, it wasn't me. He's been
Huge price spike.
yeah. But if he really wanted to prove it, that would be the way to do it.
I had people who I talked to Bitcoin a year ago, just boom, out of the blue, they saw me and they're like, they found Satoshi, what's his name?
Yeah,
And I'm like, yeah,
Dorian.
you know his name, right?
Yeah,
Name is Robert Paulson. Okay. The response from the community was amazing. Again, I love that we have this incredibly skeptical,
yeah,
no fucks given community about
yeah,
what they will say and
yeah,
how much digging they'll do to get to the truth.
yeah, yeah. So I guess we'll talk about this. So this is one of your favorite things, right? The physical images of
Hey,
Bitcoin.
but I mean, it's only wrong in like two different, three different, four ways.
Yeah,
So, but Wired decided that it was important enough to put on their story about the splash.
yeah,
I looked at it, I hadn't seen it before. It was very well done. Problem is that it's only pseudo anonymous. The liberty would be subjective to some
yeah,
people. It has nothing to do with the year 2014.
yeah,
And that wouldn't be one Bitcoin because that would be one Bitcoin wallet with
yeah,
X amount of Bitcoin on it.
yeah,
If it was a functional Bitcoin wallet, which it doesn't appear to be, and instead it has like a creepy blank face of a man, clearly. I
yeah,
don't like Dave either, because if there was anyone who had a better reason to obscure their identity, it would be a woman. In the technical world, when you think about it, what better, a woman wouldn't have been taken seriously, her idea, and wouldn't have been given serious credit by obscuring her identity and being assumed to be a man. Her idea could get all the recognition it deserved without any of the same level of technical scrutiny that some of the male chauvinist computer people would have done.
yeah. That's possible.
So I don't like this face because it's clearly sexist. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I guess you pretty much said it. I don't have anything else on this. We talked about this. Yeah, that's
I want more of your first impressions. I was ranting the whole time. What am I doing?
no, yeah. I mean, this
How many viewers do we have?
let's see.
Sorry, guys. I'm a terrible interviewee.
We have 2 right now.
Two. I'm sorry, both you guys. What if one of you is a Chinese bot, and the other guy is probably like a Korean who's trying to translate everything I say?
Yeah. Well, we got these. I guess this is apropos because the new Star Wars comes out this week. I have been outside of my rock long enough to know that, but I do not know what this is from.
So that is it appeared in a show. If you click back to the main gallery, for some reason my title's not showing here. It's probably because I didn't actually label the
Okay, Scorpion.
Scorpion. Yeah, so it was just one of those, another appearance in a TV show,
Yeah.
a thriller, where Bitcoin's used in the criminal underground, and then they have some silly plot concocted where that's they're being relevant.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make any sense because from what I understand, I haven't seen the episode. I'm not likely to watch it. I'm kind of a sci-fi guy. It sounds like, why would the criminals require you to take the Bitcoin wallet to the founder's foundation where it's a Bitcoin wallet and you could just send it to their address?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a pretty good amount of ignorance still.
So that was my opinion. See,
yeah.
I'm done. No.
I mean, I
asked for your opinion, and all I did was give you my opinion. See, this is what happens when I'm not on your show enough.
Yeah, no, it's.
Have it all pin up.
I don't always have opinions. That's just one of my things. I'm not always super opinionated. Sometimes I'm very opinionated, but no, I think that's kind of just another one of those things that I just expect. It's usually on these kind of shows where they talk about it, it's kind of just thrown in as a gimmick, and there's a lot of ignorance. That's just kind of how it is. All right, so moving along, this is one of the ones that I saw like right after you posted it, I think. It's blockchain. I get that.
Do you go to the link though? It's a whole thing. So you can't go to the link in the slideshow. I need to fix that. Finally got the website up today. It was down for days.
Yeah.
There we go, that one. So it should be a click through.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the image gallery. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. So short visual explanation of Bitcoin using Lego.
This is someone who really understands Bitcoin.
Transaction occurs.
Because it's like a little model of how it works.
Yeah.
Made out of Legos. Got all sorts of little intricacies in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how this is showing up on the YouTube, but for everyone who thinks this is too blurry and can't see, we're just looking at the little details of the Legos because we're nerds. I played with Legos. I think this is cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of parallels with Bitcoin and Legos, and people keep using Bitcoins and Legos.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a couple of these things in the gallery, a couple of the images, and I couldn't really figure out like what the Legos had to do with it. It makes a lot more sense when you read these explanations.
Blocks at its heart, right? Because it's a block game. It's what is this? This is like childhood programming, adult mental reasoning kicking in, isn't it? This is like men playing with Legos to express themselves in complicated technical senses.
Yeah.
Means that I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Pretty dynamic though.
Yeah, no, I think this is really cool. And I was totally like Legos were pretty much the only toys I played with as a kid. So I'm pretty into them. I was actually like hanging out with a friend a couple weeks ago, and we talked about Legos a lot, and I think he's even more of a Lego fanatic than I am.
You need to send him this.
Yeah, that's actually something I will probably do. Yeah, I didn't realize how many images there were. When I saw it before, I only saw the first like 2 or 3. I didn't realize that there was a whole like 10 of them here or whatever. Oh wait, there's 5 more here.
I only caught it because my search bot found each of the images tagged with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Because it showed up in the Imager search thingy, and I was like, whoa.
They have Satoshi as a little pharaoh here.
Yeah, and a crypt.
Yeah.
It was white paper.
Yeah. We have the developers arguing over the size of blocks.
Yeah, and they have different size blocks right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The moon. Yeah, this thing is pretty thorough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. So let's see. What else? Is there anything else on here?
We went out of screen share.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You got one of those cool mics. I want to get one of those mics.
Yeah, this is it's a really good mic, but I also record music, so I guess I can justify having an expensive, nice microphone. I don't think I would.
You're the voice of the Bitcoin art world. What are you talking about? Yeah, you got to justify it like that.
Yeah, that's possibly true. Actually, we could use that as a transition.
Give us your screen share though. I want to. Unless we do mine, I could try to do mine. So I wanted to ask your opinion on how my hits were versus my bot attacks at some point. I don't know. Our audience might be slightly interested in stats.
Yeah.
What do you think? Our audience
yeah. You want to know what I think the ratio is, or what?
Yeah. Because it's up. I mean, it's. I've got my opinion about it, but you know, what is your outside opinion? So I've had 7,000 users who have visited 3 pages about a piece, and I've blocked 2,000 bots.
Yeah.
And I obviously haven't blocked them all because, like, just today I got 900 hits from one bot that just ripped my website, and I let it have it because I was like, I have my settings set like that, and I'm like, maybe it's someone ripping my site because they're passionate about Bitcoin. Right?
Yeah.
Is that the kind of mind frame I should have?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said earlier, I guess Daniel is probably more knowledgeable in this because I think he keeps track of all that stuff for our site. I don't know a whole lot of what's going on with our site all the time unless I ask him. But I mean, that bot attacks have kind of just become a constant nuisance, it seems like.
Yeah, it's pretty prevalent. I didn't really understand the extent of it until it was half my traffic.
Yeah. I think I don't know if there's any connection with that, especially being prevalent in Bitcoin, just because you're going to have more tech savvy people, and those are the people who are going to be doing stuff like this. I don't know.
Like I get a lot of views that are obviously tech people because that's the kind of people who track me on Twitter and retweet my stuff. And maybe they get me through bots since they're tech people, you know? Because I get my stuff through bots, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just a philosophy is whether I'm giving my stuff away in a way or not. I don't know. Like you give your stuff away, you don't care, right?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
So have you seen what the Japanese are doing with their Trezors?
No.
Okay, look at this. This is what the Japanese are doing with their Trezors. Someone sent me this from Japan, and they are here's a little Miss Kitty's.
Yeah.
Miss Kitty.
Yeah. Hello Kitty. Yeah.
I guess this is a thing in Japan.
Yeah.
With cell phones. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, cultural differences are hard to traverse sometimes. I'm not sure what exactly those things at the top are, but
these things. This
yeah,
a Pac-Man. That's a Pac-Man.
Well, no. I mean, what they're like, they all have the similar shape. I'm not sure what those are.
Oh, Trezors.
Okay.
The physical Bitcoin wallet.
Okay.
The Trezor, yeah. Let me see here. Hold on. Bring up that picture of it. Trezor. You've seen a Trezor before, I think. No, that's not it. Bitcoin wallet. Oh, didn't type that
Okay,
in.
yeah, yeah. I just totally didn't recognize it with all the stuff on it.
Yeah, with the bling on it. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is one of these guys.
yeah.
So,
Okay,
so there's some Japanese people who
yeah,
went in and yeah, with the bling on it, you can't really recognize it. It looks like some weird charm.
yeah,
I guess if it still works. But
yeah,
cultural differences.
yeah,
We haven't seen much multicultural Bitcoin art. It's most been like Western tech
yeah. I mean,
directed.
that seems kind of like typical of the kind of things Japanese like. I don't know. I think there's a lot of that kind of stuff over there. But yeah,
This one. This is a child
yeah. That's
who
one of the
was
ones.
registered on the Bitcoin blockchain, and her birth certificate. You guys talked about this in the show, didn't you?
I don't know. I haven't been on the last two episodes because I've been super, super busy the last couple weeks.
It might have been another podcast where I also heard about this.
Yeah.
But a video birth certificate of a child notarized on the Bitcoin blockchain using proofofexistence.com. This would probably be the other important one I'd bring up because would you want to be registered on the Bitcoin blockchain when you were
Uh,
born?
yeah. I
If you're
don't
born
know.
right now?
I, I don't know. Something just like immediately strikes me as a little bit disturbing about it, but I can't really put my finger on what it is. I can't articulate it.
That's why I thought the in picture was important too, because it adds that extra level. There's
Yeah.
several pictures because they're all in an open Dropbox folder.
Yeah.
They're both techie parents, and
Yeah.
I
Obviously.
really applaud their their they're doing it, even if it makes me uncomfortable because it's such a big thing to do if you're the
Yeah.
first person doing it.
Yeah. It's just kind of like it's like a paranoid, like sci-fi kind of thing.
Absolutely. But then that means your parents set you up a Bitcoin wallet when you were born,
Yeah.
right? Wouldn't you like your parents to have done that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess. I don't know though. Like you, I have strange concerns about that.
Yeah. I can't really say what it is that bothers me about it.
What
Maybe
else did you
it's
see that really got your eye, by the way? Or can you put your finger on what bothers you with that one?
uh, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just in general it's just one step further with us being so tied in with technology. I guess has a lot of people kind of scared with smartphones and everything now.
Here's another. Okay, then let's talk about another one that'll make you concerned. Did you hear that an ISIS page? I guess a major ISIS page was taken down and replaced with a Bitcoin pharmaceutical ad.
Uh, no, I know Anonymous has been taking down ISIS Twitter accounts and stuff like that. I didn't know anything was replaced with Bitcoin.
Okay, all right. This will blow your mind. Should I send it to you on Twitter or what?
Uh, Anything's fine.
This image, I almost felt weird about sharing this because I
Yeah,
don't want people associating my website with some sort of like ISIS Bitcoin crap, but
yeah,
it's absolutely terrifying. Um, there we go. Did I do that right? Yes.
yeah. I got it.
So it's a screenshot that I found from this website of an ISIS page, terrorist group, being taken down and being replaced. And this was done by an anonymous group.
Yeah,
But it wasn't an anonymous group. It was like a break off of anonymous.
yeah,
Um, I don't understand the complexities of it. Um, this is disturbing because they're all these terrorists would see this ad here and they would get mad at the like has our names on it,
yeah,
Litecoin, Bitcoin, Dogecoin. Do we
yeah,
really want to be um, doing that.
Yeah, that brings up the whole question of just all the anonymous stuff in general, which I have misgivings about as well.
Like, should I have it in here in the gallery? It's terribly important in context, right?
Yeah, I mean, if your job is to catalog everything,
that would be like in the top of the year level important kind of creepy thing.
Yeah.
I don't like having it in here. But I don't know. Someone's coming out with a physical Bitcoin counter.
Yeah.
Would you buy that?
I don't know. I'm so cheap. I don't I mean, I still don't even have a smartphone. I don't really have any. I mean, Daniel.
This means you don't have to turn on the computer.
Yeah.
Or get a smartphone to see what the Bitcoin price is.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't buy something like that still. I don't know.
If it was $50, I bet they'd sell a lot of them.
Maybe 50. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people would be interested in just for kind of like the novelty of it. But
it's something I would get just so that if I walked into my room and I wasn't actually going to feel like turning on my computer.
Yeah.
Or something, I might have that.
Yeah.
If it also works as a normal clock too.
Yeah. Let's see.
Anything else strike you? I have another terrifying terrorist thing here. The National Risk Assessment on Money Laundering by the UK, by some UK association here.
Yeah.
Where they list Bitcoin or digital currencies in general. Yeah, the UK government published a list, and they put digital currencies on a pick, along with everyone else who's laundering money.
Yeah.
They try to rate them, and I didn't know if I should include this either. It was definitely viral on the day it came out. Did you see this one?
No.
Okay. See, I don't know if I should include things like this. Some of the chart, like, this doesn't qualify as art. It requires like historicness to it, but might not be in my. I need to work on the wiki. What do you think? The Bitcoin wiki have you used that?
No. I mean, I may have been on it a couple times, but I don't like use it regularly.
I would like to maybe start using it just so that I could put images like this maybe on it, because I don't know where they should go though.
Yeah.
If anyone out there who's listening to this show or is later listening to this show has suggestions, please comment. I would love suggestions.
Yeah. Let's see.
Do you want to go over to your screen share? I don't know if we're even on my screen.
Yeah, it'll be on your screen right now. Okay.
There's been so much that's happened this year that I have no way to like do a 2015 how to put everything in order kind of thing, because there's too much.
Yeah.
What was your most memorable moment of the Bitcoin year?
To be honest, I don't even like remember much of this year. I think for me that probably the most memorable thing for the entire year was all the like XT stuff and the block size debate, and then like the censoring. That's like the thing that I remember the most, and I feel like one of the things that we like talked about a lot on the podcast, even though we probably didn't always want to talk about it, it was kind of just always happening.
The block. Okay. Yeah. They just came out with a solution to that, right?
Did they?
I thought that was, and I thought there was something called, oh, it has a weird name and it just slipped out of my head. Oh no, what was it called? Everyone was touting it the other day as some sort of solution. What was it called? Let me go look. Now I'm never gonna forgive myself because I didn't understand the complexity when they went into it, right? Because it's the block size debate is so complex that I don't even understand. I don't even fully understand the argument, right?
Yeah.
Do you understand the argument?
No, I like I don't have a super in-depth understanding of all that kind of stuff. I can maybe get like 20%, 30% out of the really technical explanations, but I couldn't explain to anybody else, I don't think.
It took me like 2 years to read through like the basic stuff, but some people got through in like just a couple of months,
Yeah.
you know. So, and this stuff goes on and on and on. We were going to talk about how slow the art is to the rest of it.
Yeah.
How do you think about that now?
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's actually a good transition because I don't know how we are on time, but we should probably start moving on.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, it looks like we've got like about an hour.
Oh my, sorry guys.
Oh no,
We're rambling. End of the year podcast.
Yeah, which actually I'll do my little announcement, and that will transition us into the speed at which things are moving. So I think I've decided that next year I'm not going to do this as a monthly podcast. This is the big announcement, and I'm really sorry if somebody out there, maybe one person, who's disappointed by that and is excited about it every month.
I'm disappointed. I'm excited every month.
Yeah.
I have you on this app. I have the you, me, and BTC thing on my app.
Yeah.
So the automatic or Beyond Pod, that's what it's called. It automatically downloads you guys, and I listen to your show on my walk to class in the morning after drinking too much coffee when I'm wound up, and then I listen. The same time I mix you guys in with my Let's Talk Bitcoin, things like other podcasts. So my heart's broken. I'm sad.
Yeah. Well, so the plan is to continue doing it in some capacity, but doing it monthly, I don't know. It seemed like I ended up talking about a lot of the same things like every month, and there wasn't always something that was worth spending an entire show talking about.
We're in the slowest moving area of the Bitcoin sphere. And for you to be covering the art scene every month is premature.
Yeah. So I think it's going to end up being more of a kind of like a special episode that comes out when something is worth covering and not trying to force it every month. So I don't know. It's possible that it could be like 2 or 3 episodes come out next year, or if a lot of stuff happens, maybe more. But yeah, so we kind of wanted to spend a little bit of time just talking about how it seems like the art world in Bitcoin moves pretty slowly. So what are your thoughts on that?
I have too many thoughts on all that. I think it's a good idea because then you'll have way more material of better caliber to talk about.
Yeah.
You won't be caught so much in the drudge. And there are months where there can be nothing but drudge in our part of it. So you're making the right decision. I will just be missing my extra podcast every month.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all the time with my other podcast shows though, so I'm not hugely surprised.
Yeah. If a ton of people like message me or whatever and say that they're so disappointed and they look forward to it every month, I mean, I would probably go back to doing it monthly if I get a ton of that. But I don't. Yeah, some of the episodes I felt like I was pushing really hard to make it interesting or to actually make it last more than 2 minutes. So I think, we'll just have to see how it goes. But yeah, in general, like, what do you think about just the art moving slowly?
How many Bitcoin wallets are there in total now? Like 5 million.
Yeah.
Right. So if we just assume casually, like, I don't know how many Bitcoin wallets one person generates on average, and then there's a bunch who generate a lot more because they're doing weird stuff, and then there's people who only have one wallet, and I don't know what the spread of that is. in the real terms. I don't know if anyone does, but
Yeah.
The audience is tiny because the community is tiny, right?
Yeah.
And every time we grow 1,000 people, the market feels it. So, so what we're talking about, and to have artists pop up and do art piece, we already have a lot of, like, we have stuff every week, right? But to generate a quality foundation of community driven projects, I think takes a bigger community, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Not because the donations aren't there for a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
And their time is money. Not everyone can do it on the lark like we can. But since we're covering them, they got to see a profit motive if it's taking up like a considerable amount of their time to produce like really good content that then we consume and comment on, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this could be me being too cynical or too critical, but I think also like a lot of people in Bitcoin, because it's still so heavily focused towards tech people and people into finance, that I think a lot of people undersell the value of having an art community or having people doing more creative stuff that doesn't necessarily have to do with utility.
But then the art is only a reaction to certain people's impression of that utility, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. And then the media too. The media produces a lot of content, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't the media coverage matter a lot in our discussion of this? Because without it, necessarily a lot of the artists who come in the space don't even hear about it till the proper mainstream media has come along, right?
Yeah, and at that point, how accurate is the message that they're portraying? Like, how many images are we going to have of gold coins with a B on them?
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
and like when there's not a whole lot happening in the art world, like from within the community, that's going to happen. Not when I say there's not a whole lot, like I don't want to undersell the people who are doing stuff. Like there's crypto art people with their wallets, which are pretty cool, and then you've got crypto graffiti who's done a lot of cool stuff. There are definitely, and we were talking about Tatiana earlier. There are definitely like people who are doing stuff, but it's I don't know. It seems
Philippe is the most active of all of our artists.
Yeah.
So I want to give him a shout out here because he's practically like a daily cartoonist.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's always quick on the draw and will do pieces on request. I guess we wish we had more of him.
Yeah.
To fill our lives with more things to comment on, because we're super interested in the subject, right? And but we have to realize like the art is a measurement of artists, right? Of how many artists are producing X amount of work over X amount of time for their general reasons that they do it. That's not connected to supply and demand, right?
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, I mean, maybe it's hard to tell. I think it has a lot to do with just the demographics of the people in Bitcoin, maybe more so than that. Like I was saying, I think a lot of the people who have gotten involved in it are maybe not the type of people who are also going to be working on the art stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I think there needs to be more creative people though, because that's how. I mean, a lot of people in like computer science or whatever that I know, like it's kind of like easy to hate on or to make fun of people who are more into like the design aspect of it and to user experience and things like that. But at the end of the day, that's what I think like gives you a basis for pulling in users. So I think if we want to put a positive spin on this, I guess what I would say is that there is like a lot of room for people to get into the art world and start doing stuff because it's not oversaturated at this point.
No, that's very true, because even pieces that are nothing more than off of a casual comic blog get a lot of love in the community. We all see them.
Yeah.
And I would say that we drive significant traffic. I just wish that they had enabled things like pro tip and stuff, so that everyone got auto tipped for their stuff. But then trying to enable money through the internet with Bitcoin for the art is a huge hurdle, right? And we've seen great progress in that, but the user base hasn't taken off, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so, I mean,
we have steady growth over time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's a positive way to kind of end this thing. There's room for this to grow, and I would tend to be optimistic in thinking that having a more vibrant art community and having more people interested in stuff like that makes the community more appealing to outsiders, because nobody wants to go into, like, if somebody's introduction to Bitcoin is reading our Bitcoin posts about the block size debate, like, they're not going to be interested in Bitcoin after that, I think.
No.
But if you look at these cool images, or you see that people are making like apps with good design that give like good user experience and stuff like that, or things like that, are more likely to get somebody interested in it.
Yeah, no, right. There's a feedback loop there, right?
Yeah.
In that the more art we have created, the more people get involved because they see the art, and like you said, it's apart from the whole blockchain controversy and the other things, and it's coming at it from a whole different angle, which may be easier for some people to, grab onto, right? I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah,
because I think the end goal is to appeal to people who aren't tech savvy and who aren't into sound money or like economics or whatever, to appeal to the average person.
Right. They just want to understand the argument that inflation is, they understand how inflation is a bad thing, and they understand that a currency that over time has the opposite effect is a good thing, where it would benefit them. They just need to see that, have that explained to them in a way which is less intimidating. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, so I think that's a pretty good place to end. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Oh no, this has been great fun. I'm gonna be here for the next year, so we'll have to do this again.
Yeah.
Everybody send me any sort of thing that you think looks like art here on my Twitter. I'm gonna plug myself.
Yeah, go for it.
In the podcast, which is a plug for myself shamelessly. I'm the Bitcoin Art Gallery at btcartgallery.com.
Yeah.
Or BTC Art Gallery on Twitter. You just type in Bitcoin Art Gallery in Google, you'll find me. I do art, Bitcoin stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is the first time, this is the second time he's been on the show. If you're a first-time listener, this is the second time. That was kind of confusing. Yeah, this is the second time I've had Dustin on the show. So
yeah, thanks so much for doing these shows, by the way, John. I really appreciate it. Listen to them over the time. And since this is your end of the year, let me give you a thanks from the audience for you doing these. It's always great that you reach out to people and try to put these on for us all.
Yeah, well, thanks. And despite what I was saying earlier about how it's been sometimes hard to make a convincing episode, it has been fun. And when I have had the chance to cover some interesting things, it's been really interesting. So, yeah, we'll see what happens next year. I guess we can sign off now for the last episode of Bitcoin and the Arts of the New Year, or not of the new. Man, I need more coffee. The last episode of this year.
So we should say Happy New Year's then. Even
Yeah,
though
I
it's
guess.
early for us.
Yeah, it's still a couple weeks off, but happy holidays, whatever holiday.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah. All right. Well, see you guys later.